Vinylcommunity. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Cosmic Vinyl. I'm going to skip all the pre-ramble weirdness that I usually start each video with because I'm going to show 101 records here today. This is a contest put on by Dan from Dots and Loops. It's called the Whacked Vinyl Tag or Contest. And if you don't know Dan from Dots and Loops, he's a great man. He's one of the originals from back in the day. Shows some great psychedelic stuff. Check him out. But I'm just going to get right into it, man. We got 101 questions, so I got a lot to show here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I am going to remove the mind shield. So be warned, mind shield removal, impending doom for you. No, I'm just kidding. See, oh my God, what? Oh, thank God. All right, so let's get into this, man. This could get me 10 entries into the contest. So I spent a lot of time on it. I'm doing it at the last minute, so let's get it on. Okay, the first question is, record with Todd Rundgren involvement. I chose I could have chose many things because I'm a Todd Rundgren fan, but this is Utopia. Kind of like they kind of evolved into a progressive rock band, but Utopia, Todd Rundgren. Title with fewer than 5 letters, Guru Guru's UFO. There's the title on the back. So UFO by Guru Guru. Record from high school that you still own. How about this bad boy? Bought it at Co-op Records and Tapes from my hometown. The Mob Rules, Ronnie Dio fronted Black Sabbath. Number 4, record you were supposed to like, but don't. I figured anything by Vanilla Fudge would be good. This is Vanilla Fudge. The beat goes on. This sucks. The band would even agree with me. Record you were not supposed to like, but do. I hate to tell you this, people. In my circle, you weren't allowed to like ABBA back in the day, but I did because this has Dancing Queen, Knowing You, Knowing Me. Like this Greatest Hits number 2 by ABBA. Oh my God. Third Degree of Kevin Bacon. Okay. So Kevin Bacon was in a little movie called Footloose, right? Kevin Bacon just so happens to be Peter Quill, Star-Lord's idol in Guardians of the Galaxy. And on this Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack is a song called Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass, which I just so happen to have right here. 3 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. First soundtrack I ever owned. Don't slay me yet, people, but I love this album, man. This is a killer album, killer movie. Saturday Night Fever. I could have showed Grease. Good $5 record everyone should own. Now, Dan from Dots and Loops had this as a negative, but I take this as a positive. This was one of my most played records at one time. This is Dreamweaver by Gary Wright. Also has the kick-ass song Love is Alive. Great $5 record. Record that defines you 25 years ago. That's Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe. Yes, baby. Record that rhymes with orange. How about it's even got part of the word orange in it? Orangutan. It's close. Nothing rhymes with orange. Hard to find album from a popular artist. I'd say out of the Creedence Clearwater Revival albums, this is probably the hardest one to find. Their debut record with Susie Q. Great record. Most common record in your collection. Isn't it the most common record in everybody's collection? The Whipped Cream. The 2 farthest records not in common with each other. How about Bobby Gentry, Ode to Billy Joe? And then Slayer. What is this? South of Heaven. Great album. Both of those are great albums. Record that makes you want to puke. Not because of the way it sounds or the musical content, it's the cover that gets me. This just reminds me too much of somebody trying to get their Red Wings, and I think if you don't know what Red Wings is, look it up in the slang dictionary. Record with a horrible pressing. This Koala record, I think they're a fake Australian psychedelic band. This is thin as it gets, tinny, hardly any bass. It's a bad production. Very nice sounding record. I don't care how many times and how many different ways I've listened to this on different record players. If you've got a good sound system, this thing sounds amazing. This is just one of the best produced albums I think I've ever heard. Boston. Best inner sleeve. I can kind of just show this because the inner sleeve pretty much matches the outer sleeve. But my God, that is so killer. I just love that, man. I'm a sucker for colorful shit. Cover you can't stand, record you love. I don't get this cover, man. This is Human League. This is like dark, gothy, new wave, and there's a dog sled on the front. Jesus. Record that's too long but has good songs. The legendary Stevie Wonder, probably one of the longest records ever recorded. Plus it came with a little 45, but this has some amazing tracks on it, man. I mean, Sir Duke, it's got a lot of great songs on it, just trust me. I don't have time to go through that shit. Record that makes you want to cry. I shit you not, the first time I heard the song Court of the Crimson King, it brought me to tears, moved me so much. That song is just so great. In the Court of the Crimson King, it's just powerful. Workout record. Used to love to work out to this, man. Probably Motley Crue's best album, Dr. Feelgood. I don't work out anymore. I own this record because someone said I should. Shared that in a recent video. Sam, my good buddy from the record shows, lives in this area, told me to buy this Baroque's album. I did, and I love it. Record that sounds totally different than you thought it would. This I thought would be super psychedelic. The Sacred Mushroom. This is mostly like a blues rock record. An overrated record. Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet had every song practically was a hit. I hated hearing it after a while, or seeing the videos on MTV. An underrated record. If you guys haven't heard of Paris, this is Bob Welch after he left Fleetwood Mac. This sounds like Zeppelin. Great album. Record you have no idea why you own it because you have never listened to it. Maybe once, and that's Goodbye Cream. Record that makes you levitate. I actually did levitate in my next video. I do levitate. Anytime I listen to this by Hawkwind, I not only levitate, I get shot out into space. And I don't ever want to come down. A record that looks cool or makes you feel cool. I think these guys look cool as shit. The Seeds. Just looking at it makes me wish I was that cool. Number 29, instructional record. This is about as close as I get. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Just him preaching his yogi stuff. Record that heals. How about Todd Rundgren's The Healing? I mean, you can't get any more healing than that. Record with bad graphic design. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this record. I just don't get the graphic design on the front, man. Just not what I expected from the songs within. Record that changed over time for you. First time I heard this, didn't get it, didn't understand why everybody else thought it was great. After a few more listens and kept listening to it, this is freaking great. I love this album. Kurt Cobain ruined it all. 80s fun. I chose Faster Pussycats, Wake Me When It's Over. This is great. Loved this band back in the day, man. Picture of the band on the back there. Great album. Sleaze rocker. This record made me high. Love listening to this, man. Every time I hear Damnation of Adam Blessing's version of Morning Dew, I'm high as a kite, baby. Surprising dance record. This is funny, but this is Agnes English by John Fred and his Playboy band. I get silly dancing to Judy in Disguise. Maybe you'll see it on film one of these days. A maddening record. How about Mad River, man? Great hard rock psych, man. Good album. Scary record, unintentional or not. Greylock Mansion. This is friggin' ominous, as the cover indicates right there. This is very lo-fi, doomy, weird songs about spiders and murder and Satan worship. That's creepy. Short record. This one clocks in at around 26 minutes, and that's Death for the whole world to see. Great kind of punk, kind of rock and roll record. Mixed race record. How about Eric Burdon and from the Animals with War? I mean, most of the guys are black, but you've got a couple of white guys. By the way, that guy gets about a 9.5 on the Afrometer. Most eclectic record. That would be this Freak Out by the Mothers of Invention, Frank Zappa. This has garage, this has psych, this has pop, this has about every genre on it. And what a great record. Record with no guitar. How about Tonto's Expanding Headband? This is mostly all synthesizers, and it's a giant group of synthesizers put together. Record with most organ. I don't know about the most, but this is definitely a Hammond-driven progressive rock record. Eloy Inside. Killer record. Record with best 80s rock ballad. That would be LA Guns. Opens up with like an intro track called Cry No More. And then the ballad is called One Way Ticket. I think it's a song about overdose. But it's a great track. Great album too, by the way. Best Blind by. Bought this not too long ago, Blind. This graffiti album, psychedelic. Love this. Turtle record, Slow Jam. Hey, if I want to mellow out and just kind of kick back, nothing like Seals and Crofts' greatest hits to do it. Diamond Girl, Summer Breeze, Castles in the Sand. You don't get no mellower than that. Record you still want to like but aren't sure. Just bought this recently. Michelangelo. Thought it'd be a little bit more psyche. It's a little too folky for me. It's still growing on me. I'm still giving it a whirl. Best guilty pleasure record. Crazy Horses. The Osmonds, Crazy Horses. I don't feel guilty one bit. Hidden Funk. Actually, the funk is right there. This is James Gang. Rides Again. Opens the side one with Funk 49, man. These guys got a little funky vibe all the way through their stuff, man. Love Joe Walsh and the James Gang. Jazz That No One Knows That Slays. Now, it's listed as a jazz album, but it is more kind of bluesy than jazz, but it sells under a jazz label. I'm going with Magic Sam, West Side Soul. This is fantastic. Barry White saved my life. I don't own any Barry White record, but I'm following Jeff from Burnout Shelter's creativity. I have a Barry Goldberg record, and I married it with White Witch. So then you've got Barry White, right? Hey, it's a stretch, but you got 2 albums for the price of 1. The 90s. How about Ministry, Psalm 69? Oh, God, this is great. Heavy. Record and concert and memorabilia. God, I forgot to bring down my concert t-shirt from their reunion tour. But this is the album cover for Ace Frehley's solo record when he was with Kiss. It's autographed and even drew a card on there. That's fucking great. Here's the record, and I did not bring my concert t-shirt down. God damn it. A record that flopped. It was 20 some years in the making, and it was Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy. Was supposed to be Axl Rose's masterpiece. Several members came and went with Guns N' Roses. Basically flopped, but it was still a pretty damn good album. Not as good as it had the hype. Indie record. Ty Segall. First Taste. Love Ty Segall. Or is it Seagull? Soul classic. How about the OJs? Backstabbers. Oh my God, look at those fly dudes, man. Love this. Love my soul. Got to start showing some more soul stuff. The 50s. How about the Diamonds, man? Doing the Stroll. Or Little Darlin', man. These guys were a great singing group from the 50s. Glam Me. This one you don't see very often. Blackfoot Sue, Nothing to Hide. This is a British import. Cool glam rock from the 70s. All right, number 58, worldwide album. Zamrock. A little something that Steve Carlson turned the whole vinyl community onto. I love this. Played Out record. I might take some heat for this, but I can go without hearing Smells Like Teen Spirit probably for the rest of my life. Sinatra album. Just so happens I have a compilation of some Sinatra stuff right here. Old Blue Eyes. Lost British Invasion. How about the Searchers? This is on the Pie label. Mostly a cover band. Still pretty decent cover band. Get Kinky. I'm going with Kink's Kingdom. Can't get kinkier than that. Lady Rockers. How about the girls that showed them how to do it back in the 70s? The Runaways. And probably one of the greatest gatefolds of all time. Badasses. Record that was a risk. Kiss removed the makeup, came out with this album without their makeup. It gave their career a shot in the arm that they needed. Prog Synth Pleasure. Tangerine Dream Stratosphere. Great. Electronic Dreams. I could have probably switched those two around. This is Black Mass Lucifer. Mort Garson on that one. Beatles and Why. I chose the Blue album because this compilation has all of my favorite Beatles songs on it. Rockabilly Meltdown. How about Red Hot Rockabilly with the best of Crazy Cavan? Look at those guys. Rockabilly studs right there. Heavy record in grams. This thing, it weighs a ton, man. Both records, there's a 2-record set, but they're both at least 180 grams. And this is a great record too. Wayfaring Warfaring Strangers, Dark Scorch Chronicles. Splatter vinyl. This is the plastic sleeve it came in, but these are the vomit spots. But here's the killer splatter vinyl. Looks like a puddle of vomit. Could have used that one for the puke question too. You Got Ripped Off. Ordered this album thinking it was vinyl because the guy listed it as an LP. Turns out it's a nice CD set, and it also has 45 in it and a booklet. This is a nice package. Guy gave me a full refund, told me to keep this, so I really didn't get ripped off. But it wasn't what it is advertised. Musty Crusty, You Can't Throw It Out. My original copy of Highway to Hell has a hole that goes through and through. Much ring wear, crinkling. Pretty sure the album is probably not in much better shape, but I'll never throw this away. Spoken Word or Lots of Talking. This is another Mort Garson venture. He wrote most of this, but this is about the signs of the zodiac, and in between every song, they talk about each sign of the zodiac. Bad Production. Well, first of all, it's on Vox Records, so I didn't expect it to be great. But this is Laughing Soap Dish, LSD. Way too thin, very tinny. But cool album cover. How Do They Do That? Amazing playing. This guy is fucking legendary among metal guitar players, classically trained. This guy shreds. Yngwie Malmsteen. I Don't Get It record. I see this record get shown all the time. I hear people say it's such great things. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's as good as everybody says. Nilsson Schmilson. And come on, dude. Put some fucking clothes on. I don't mind the pipe, though. Free Jazz Me. I don't listen to a lot of free jazz, but I'll throw this out there and see if it sticks. Sun Ra, live at the Montreux. Classic LP doesn't get played enough. Everybody always plays Sgt. Pepper's, Revolver, Rubber Soul, but you never hear anybody talk about Magical Mystery Tour. This is a great album, man. I don't know why people don't talk about it more. Oh, there's a little picture of Mazzy right there. Mazzy makes an appearance. Why only one good album? I ask myself that same question every time I listen to Heavy Equipment by Euclid. Killer hard rock from the 70s. Tragic Story LP. This is Hanoi Rocks. That guy right there, his name is Razzle. He was the drummer. He was killed in a car accident, basically caused by negligent and reckless driving by Vince Neil of Motley Crue. I'm Sorry album. Partner loves it. You don't. I don't even have it on the vinyl because I borrowed my wife's CD. It's both of ours, but Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. It's a good album. She loves it. I could take it or leave it. Critics got it wrong. When this album first came out by Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, I think people were expecting another Dark Side of the Moon, like Dark Side of the Moon 2. So this thing got trashed. Amazing record. I don't give a fuck what the critics said. Go-to of all LPs. My favorite band, my favorite record by my favorite band. Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin. Great cover art, too. Ripped off another band. I wouldn't say they ripped off another band. They borrowed heavily from a few different bands to create their own sound. And that's Ghost. Borrowed their stage theatrics from Kiss. Sound a lot like Blue Oyster Cult. That's a combo I can live with. Dig these guys. Ghost. Seen them several times. Memory LP, Brings Back Feelings. Probably my first girlfriend and I used to listen to this in 6th, 7th grade. But yeah, I love this album anyway, man. One of my first albums my parents actually bought me. They never bought me records, but I think they must have felt sorry for my ass because they hated rock music. Almost Home. Condition is crap. Who cares? That's this record I picked up cheap at I think it was like a Fleam, and it's all in, the cover's all intact, the plastic and everything, but this is probably the scratchiest record I've ever heard. Not deep skippy scratches, just surface. I won't get rid of it. I'll listen to it still. Disco Delight. Disco Baby, Van McCoy and the Soul City Symphony. This has Do the Hustle. Heaviest and Hardest. I don't know. I just grabbed one. This is Pantera. History of Hostility. Love these guys. Remember seeing them in clubs when I lived in Dallas before Cowboys from Hell. I Blush LP, Erotic City. I don't know how erotic this is, but I do blush whenever my like kids or whatever see it. It's Cum Stain, White People Problems. Yeah, soak that in. Iconic Influential LP. How about Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Doesn't get much more iconic than that. Get Smart LP. They did something else, whatever, like an invention or whatever. I went with the same that Jeff from Burnout Shelter. I went with Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. He actually, on their Somewhere Back in Time tour, he flew the plane from country to country. He piloted it, the 747 or 727 or whatever. Workman LP, Steady Eddie LP. Steely Dan was one of the hardest working bands in the business, man. And they always stuck true to their sound. They didn't give a fuck. Kind of a dick, but I'm Clever, best lyrics. I chose this Alice Cooper, and the song on it is called No Man's Land. It goes, I got a job in Atlanta in a mall playing Santa, not because of any talent, but because I was the only one the suit would fit. Everybody's shopping, little kids, whatever. The first thing, I got a job in Atlanta in a mall playing Santa, not because of any talent, but because I was the only one the suit would fit. Clever, always tongue-in-cheek humor with the coop. Harmonies. Man, it doesn't get much better than Harmonies than the Turtles, man. Love this. Happy Together, Let Me Be, Eleanor. Tries Too Hard. Not so much the music-wise, so don't start beating me up yet. But every time I've seen Johnny Rotten or John Lydon in an interview, it's like he's trying way too hard to be offensive, man. You shouldn't have to try to be offensive. Just be you. Maybe he is just a dick. I don't know. Standout song, album not great. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Carl Douglas. Brave New Waves, Courageous LP. When everybody else was doing just dark alt rock, these guys came out slamming with this angry album, 9 Inch Nails. This is something I listen to when I am pissed, and it usually doesn't make me any less pissed. This thing's a friggin' nightmare. Color Me Gone, LP to fill out contract. If I remember right from my research, this Love for Sale was a contractual obligation. In fact, he was the only leftover member. These are all new band members. Arthur Lee. Time to Die, Dead During or After. A guy whose career was cut way short. Rockabilly, great roots rock and roll, 50s, 60s. Eddie Cochran, man. Love this. Love that album. Killed in a car accident. Sold Soul to the Devil. Fly and Die Sellout. Loved Van Halen with David Lee Roth. Hated Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. Probably some of their biggest albums with Sammy Hagar. Definitely sold out. Probably didn't have a choice though. Last LP in your collection that you'd ever sell. That's Yesterday's Children. Picked this up at a thrift store in Fort Dodge, Iowa. All right, there's 101 records, man. Dan, I gotta get this thing loaded. Hope you enjoy it, Dan. Catch you in my next video. Should be coming out tomorrow. Peace.